hello, shalom, aloha, konnichiwa.
What was that?
I'm trying to say hello to our listeners around the world, Ricky. Is that a problem?
No, it's just that we've never done it before.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to do something new. What is that, a crime? Can't I just introduce us and say hello to the listeners?
No, I'm not saying that. It's just...
Welcome to episode 14 of Take It With a Grain of Sand. I'm your host, Mickey P.
And Ricky P.
And boy, oh boy, do we have a show for you. Keep on listening and you'll hear 3 segments.
Oh, okay.
We've got SpongeBob. We've got celebrity news. We've got a discussion.
Ooh, about cooking?
Well, now you've spoiled it.
I don't know. Maybe it's about cooking. Maybe it isn't.
Well, now they know it's about cooking.
No, they don't.
Keep on listening, and I guess you'll have to find out.
Right. And welcome out to another episode of Connecting SpongeBob episodes to real life events. And for this episode, it's a really funny one. And I think you're going to enjoy this. Is Mr. Krabs a robot?
Yeah, we're talking about the episode where SpongeBob suspects that Mr. Krabs is a robot. Which is just the funniest concept. Like, whoever came up with that, it's comedy gold. This is like one of the funniest episodes.
Yes.
So how does it start? It started with SpongeBob at his house.
Yeah, it was late night, watching a movie, which was, I think it was done probably like front of a green screen, and it was just this cardboard guy that was actually a robot suit chasing after a realistic guy.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a horror movie, and SpongeBob is scared, and now he's scared of robots taking over the world.
He suspects that people that in his life could be robots.
Yeah, and then he goes into work. And, he's picking up on some cues from Mr. Krabs that cause SpongeBob to become a little bit, what the young people would say, sus. He was, what was the first thing that made SpongeBob think that Mr. Krabs was a robot?
Oh, well, he got Squidward involved.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's trying to get emotions out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't really work. Tried to get him to love, to cry, to laugh.
Yeah, because the first thing is that robots they can't show emotion. So we gotta get Mr. Krabs to show emotion, and he just will not. SpongeBob tries a few things. He tries to get him to laugh and cry. Squidward told him a joke that was bad. Why couldn't the teenager get into the pirate movie?
Yeah.
It was rated R. And Mr. Krabs did not think it was funny. He said, "Get back to work, Mr. Squidward." And then that's one thing. Now we're a little bit more suspicious. He wouldn't laugh, he wouldn't cry. So now we have to figure out how else we can figure out if Mr. Krabs is really him or if he's a robot.
Well, there was actually one other time, it was I think it's finding a boy an egg, and SpongeBob called him one final time, and then the boy he slipped, and the hot water landed on his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was he was listening to music.
Yeah.
Beforehand.
And
And
SpongeBob
and
overheard Mr. Krabs listening to music. He was listening to his little radio.
and they even saw him do like a robot dance at one point.
Yeah, because the music was like beep. It wasn't even music. It was just going beep.
And then, and after all that, this but after all that said, Mr. Krabs busts out. His eyes were like,
So
red.
so red.
He's got the tonsil.
He had tonsils for the egg.
Yes. And then the batteries for the remote because he previously died in his pocket.
Yeah, he had the batteries in his pocket, and he just looked like a robot.
Yes. And he was so convincing that even Squidward now believes that he could have been a robot.
Squidward believes it now, and now they gotta figure it out. They started freaking out. They alerted the customers at the Krusty Krab. Robots have taken over the world. Our world.
Our world.
And then Squidward tries to no, SpongeBob tries to call the Navy.
Yes.
Call the Navy, and it was obviously it was an automated phone service, and he said, "Squidward, robots have taken over the Navy." Not the Navy. Oh man, this is so funny. Okay, so then now we all believe that Mr. Krabs has been replaced with a robot, and we want to get the real Mr. Krabs back.
Yes. So we have.
What's the only logical way to find the real Mr. Krabs?
By using the robot Mr. Krabs. You just gotta get, ropes. You gotta get all
the poop, the straight poop.
Yes, that's that.
You gotta get the poop on the robot. The straight poop. Ask questions, get information.
Yes.
I don't know why they called it poop. Where did he get that from? But that's what happened in the movie. We're basing all of this on the movie that SpongeBob saw. So just to remind everyone, that's what all this is coming from, is a movie. So now we've got to interrogate Mr. Krabs. They tied him up to his desk chair. And SpongeBob just starts slapping him across the face.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing.
SpongeBob just slapping him, and he was like, you gotta ask him a question. And he said, "What color is my underwear?" Slap. It was so ridiculous.
And this guy didn't really catch on that they think he was a robot until SpongeBob said, "This is one stubborn robot."
What? You think I'm a robot?
And we don't think, we know.
Oh man, and they cannot get him to admit he's a robot. So what do? They start interrogating all of the technology he has at the Krusty Krab. Because they're his robot friends.
Yes, and then afterwards, they don't really say anything. They smash it with a bat.
Smash it to pieces. Oh my god, this is so funny. They just start smashing all of Mr. Krabs' stuff. His radio, his blender, some other stuff that I don't remember. What else did they smash?
I can't remember some of the stuff either.
Well, they smashed a bunch of his stuff. Of course, he's really mad about that because they wouldn't smash. He knew the prices of everything. Of course, because, the thing about money. But, he knew all, oh my god, it was so frustrating for him. They're just smashing up his stuff. And then, all of a sudden, he starts doing the opposite of what he was doing before. He starts showing emotion. And he starts saying that he starts crying, he starts laughing.
Well, he's
He
also.
said that they said that robots can't love. He said something about love.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was saying that too because they were right about to smash the cash register.
Yeah, and then Squidward's like, SpongeBob, how did this little movie of yours end?
Oh, the ending was great. And it turns out robots were taking over the world. It was just their imaginations.
It was their imagination. SpongeBob forgot about the ending to the movie. And Squidward just starts panicking. SpongeBob just runs away. Oop, gotta be Gary. And then Squidward starts sweeping up the mess of all the stuff that they smashed. And I think that's how the episode ends.
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs is just really mad that they smashed up his stuff and tied him up and slapped him. He should have been fired for that. If I went in my job and slapped my boss in the face and smashed up a bunch of stuff, I would definitely need to be looking for another job. I'd probably be arrested too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, they they still have jobs. I don't know how, but anyways, now that we've broken down the episode, this hilarious episode of SpongeBob, we've got to connect it to real life because that's what this segment's all about.
Oh, okay. Well, the connection to real life is that robots are taking over the world.
Honestly, I think that they are. Maybe not in the way that's depicted on SpongeBob. I don't think
Yeah.
people are being replaced with robots.
I mean, just think about it. You have like self checkouts with robot voices.
It doesn't have a voice.
I mean, there is one like at my local food line.
Oh yeah, it does say like you can scan or whatever. And thank you for
Yes.
shopping.
Sooner
Okay.
or later, I mean, sooner or later, there's gonna be a lot of automated cash registers like that.
They have that
Which,
at McDonald's too.
yeah, which defeats the purpose of having a cashier.
Yeah, and then there's just like AI and computer, like using that for computer generated content, art,
Oh,
music. It's still in its infancy, but people are working on developing AI that can like actually create content that people would want to consume.
no, and I think I've actually heard that they maybe actually place to work is like office buildings with like technology.
Absolutely.
Using
They're definitely they're working. My job will not exist here in a couple of years. My time is limited. They're currently actively working on computer programs that can do what I do, and some of it is successful. That's also still kind of in its infancy. Like it still needs a lot of work to completely replace the human eye, but I know that eventually they're gonna have it perfected and I will not be needed. So yeah, robots, and then like in that sense taking people's jobs, but then also how reliant we are on technology. Like how do you
yeah.
feel when you think that you lost your phone, you can't find your phone, you start panicking, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we're so dependent on these things. Whereas, like, not even that long ago, within our lifetime, Ricky P,
Yeah.
people didn't even have like, not everyone had a cell phone, and if you did, it wasn't that big of a deal because phones used to be a lot cheaper and they were a lot simpler. So, like,
Uh,
they were so easy to replace. You could just go to the store, they would be like less than $50. So if you break or lose your phone, like back in 2005, you could just go get another one really easily and it wasn't that big of a deal. You didn't freak out if you left it somewhere. It's
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah, no, that,
I forgot my phone at home. I'll just get it when I get back home.
yeah, that's definitely true.
Whereas now, like, so much of our lives revolves around these devices, and also thinking about like how much devices cost now compared to how much they used to. They mean more because they're more expensive. So in that sense, robots kind of are taking over the world because we're so dependent on technology.
Oh yes. And without
So
these it was like without these technologies, like the world is really, really, really going downhill. It's like one day, like the internet will actually go out. There's gonna be a lot of productions to be put on hold because of that.
yeah, yeah, and and with the internet, like, people are so reliant also and addicted to social media too. I mean, you remember when Facebook and Instagram went down?
Yeah, oh yeah, I definitely remember that.
People were freaking out. People were freaking out that they couldn't look at Instagram for like a few hours. Like, it wasn't even that long of a time. It was down for a few hours, and then everyone's just taking to Twitter to talk about how upset they are that they can't scroll Instagram. They can't refresh their Instagram. Like, how dependent are we? I wouldn't have even noticed because I don't use Instagram that much.
Yeah, me neither.
So I probably wouldn't, if no one had said anything and I didn't see it like on Snapchat and Twitter, I probably wouldn't have known. Um but like, even so, like, some people were devastated that they could not refresh their Instagram. Like, that's how dependent we are as a people on like social media, the internet, devices. So I do think robots are kind of taking over, and I've thought about like how dependent I am and how helpless I feel when my power goes out. Like, I can't do anything with a device because I'm not going to use anything that has a battery because I'll make it die, right? You don't
Yeah,
know how
yeah.
long the power is going to be out, so I don't like to use my phone or my computer any more than I have to for a flashlight. But other than that, I wouldn't want to like still get online. So then, because I want to have my phone battery, so then I'm just sitting here like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Everything I do for fun, like I play games, and so I can't do that. I was lost the last time there was a power outage in my house about a year ago. I did not know what to do with myself, sitting here in the dark alone. I think I just went to bed. I don't think I did anything. I couldn't heat up food, so I couldn't use my microwave. I don't remember what I ended up doing. I think it came back on before dinner. But I just like a couple of hours of having my power out, I realized how truly, like, it's become such a big part using technology, using devices and all of these things that we use is so normal, right? You do all this stuff every single day that you don't even really think about how dependent you are on it until you don't have it.
Yeah, that's
And it's like,
very true.
whoa, I don't know what I'm gonna do now, right?
Yeah.
I, so, in that sense, robots kind of have already taken over because most people feel this way.
Oh yeah, definitely. That is a true fact.
Anyone in a first world country, but even if you're poor, you probably still have a smartphone if you live in America.
Oh yeah.
and you're still dependent on it.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing. So if we were trying to connect this episode of SpongeBob to real life, I think it's not really as much of a connection as it is like it's like the past. It's like we were afraid the robots would take over, and now they have. They're here, and they're only growing in power over us. And
Yeah.
we will be hailing to the robot overlords, not too long from now.
And you know what? We're all gonna be fired from our jobs because robots are gonna be taking over everything.
Yep. Robots are going to take over every single aspect. They're going to find the corporations are going to develop computer programs that can do every single thing a human being can do. All of it. Construction, they're already doing it. I think every single area where you can get a decent paying job to support yourself, there's only going to be minimum wage jobs left, I think, and even those are getting taken over. So I don't know what we're going to all do. I really don't. We're going to have to learn how to use the robots as jobs. I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh.
I mean, somebody's got to do maintenance on the robots.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get jobs doing that. I don't know what's going to happen. But what I do know is that I'm not too worried right now. I know it's a ways away. And I don't even necessarily believe that robots are taking jobs. I think that there's just a shift. The jobs are going to move. It seems like there's less jobs, but there's not less jobs. It's just the needs of the market have shifted. Right? Like maybe we don't need as many cashiers in restaurants and in grocery stores, but that means that there's now jobs in other places, right? Like we don't need necessarily as many waiters, servers at restaurants because everyone wants their meal delivered, right? Like young people, millennials and Zoomers want Uber Eats, right? And DoorDash and whatever delivery app.
Yeah.
That means now there's job openings as delivery drivers.
Yeah.
You're no longer needed as a server, but now you're needed as a delivery driver. I think like those things, like that's what's really happening, and people are getting scared because they're seeing less jobs where they used to see jobs. But that doesn't mean that there's literally less jobs, right?
Yes.
So I believe that there's a shift happening with the growing technology. So I'm as an educated adult, I'm not too worried. If there's anything to worry about, it's AI.
Yeah.
I think that I think that's what we need to. I don't think we need to be worrying about people getting replaced with robots. I don't think we need to worry about robots taking our jobs, but I think this AI thing might be an issue, and I would be more worried about that the AI is gonna realize as it grows more, like learns more about the world, it's gonna see that humans have destroyed the world and just take us out. If it, and that's not for a long time either, but maybe in our lifetime, as we get older, Ricky, and you out there listening, if you're in your teens or 20s or 30s, I think in our lifetime, we might have to hail the robot overlords. And that's how I'm connecting this episode of SpongeBob to real life. Alright, for this segment, we're getting back into some celebrity news / celebrity gossip.
Celebrity gossip?
I think we're going to talk about a little bit of gossip today.
Kind of in the middle. There's kind of mixed feelings about it, but I want to see how this goes.
I think you're gonna enjoy this, Ricky P. Y'all remember in our last episode? Did we actually talk about it in our last episode? Maybe we cut that out. We I thought we did we talk about Jenna Ortega?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well Jenna Ortega is y'all probably know who she is. She's this new up and coming um getting really she's gleaning she's gaining a lot of fame and notoriety right now for being a really good actor. She's been in the first time I saw her on screen was on the Netflix show You. She was in season 2 of You, and I really enjoyed her character. I saw her in a Netflix movie, the Babysitter or something. I think that's what it's called. Did you see that, Ricky P?
No, I don't think I've seen it.
I think she's only in the sequel. There's two of those. There's the Babysitter and there's the Babysitter Killer Queen, which is the sequel. And I think that's what she's in, and she was really good in that as well. And right now, what's popular is the Netflix show Wednesday, which I have not seen just yet. I know that that's really hot right now.
Oh yeah,
It's one of the top shows on Netflix. Everybody's talking about it. Neither of us have seen it.
no.
So we can't comment on that yet, but I've heard a lot of good reviews. And that's not really what we're talking about today. What we're talking about is her relationship status. And there's been a lot of chitter chatter. Is that words? Is that the saying?
There's
Pitter
been a
patter.
lot of.
There's been a
lot
lot
of
of
rumors.
a lot of rumors around who she's dating for some reason. I don't know why people care so much.
Oh, it's the internet.
Yeah, they want to speculate and pontificate about who everybody is dating, and I've heard some conflicting information on the topic. I've heard some different people that everyone thinks that she's dating, and the latest one I've heard is Pete Davidson.
Ooh, Pete Davidson, the comedian.
Yes, people think that they might be a thing, and I I don't know. Maybe that's true. I don't know. Um, but what I do know is that's the latest news. That's the hot goss right now is that Jenna Ortega and Pete Davidson might be a thing. And, Pete Davidson has a long history with these celebrity women. Right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, who has it been? So many. I don't even know all of them. He's dated actors, he's dated models, he's dated superstar Ariana Grande. He was engaged to superstar Ariana Grande. Kim Kardashian, and so many. Just so many like really attractive, really pretty women. And the latest is Jenna Ortega that's the rumor. That's the rumor. They've been seen together. That could mean something. That could not mean something. I mean, the last time he was spotted randomly with someone, it was Kim Kardashian, and they were a thing. And now he's also been spotted with this supermodel. I don't remember her name. Kate something. I don't know. I can't keep up. And now it's like who knows what's really going on. I don't know if Pete Davidson's really my type, and I don't really see what everyone sees in him. Like, besides, I guess, just his personality. I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. He seems really down to earth. I don't have anything against him. And he seems to just keep winning. I know there's a lot of dudes that are mad about it. How he just keeps winning.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have like a lot of good looks. Like there's a lot of guys out there that are like, how does he keep doing it? And I can't get one. And he looks like that. I look a lot similar to him. And to those guys, what I have to say is maybe you're just not funny.
Mm. Yeah, that's actually the truth.
Women like humor, and he just seems like just such a positive, like upbeat kind of guy. Like not just funny, but he seems like he's probably really nice too. And that's probably has a lot to do with it. I think it's mostly his personality and not a lot of his looks. So, yeah, I think that's you got any celebrity news for us today, Ricky?
Hmm. Well, all I gotta say is that I just want to wait until actual information comes out. There's the truth. I mean, instead of just speculating, because this could very well just be a coincidence, or it
We,
could have
we
never happened.
Ricky, we love speculation on this show. What is it?
I don't really have anything to speculate. I mean, could be true, it could be not true.
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Are you just saying words?
Maybe.
Because you're not actually saying anything. You're talking but saying nothing.
I don't know what to think of it.
Are we still talking about Jenna Ortega and Pete Davidson?
Yes.
Oh, I was trying to see if we had anything else.
Yeah, that's my something else.
Your something else is still the same thing.
Okay, let's just end the segment already. Alright, now it's time for a discussion period.
About what, Ricky?
Well, about cooking.
Cooking? We don't talk about cooking on this show.
Well, we're gonna do it today. And it's about food being cooked from scratch. Is it really better? Or is it better to just cook the pre-made food?
You mean like the food from the freezer that you just heat it up?
Yeah, heat it up in the oven.
Obviously, made from scratch is better.
Oh, okay, then what are your reasons?
It always tastes better. The stuff from the freezer has all those preservatives and stuff.
Alright.
It doesn't taste as good. You want some chicken, you should make it fresh. I'm not saying it has to be, but if we're talking about what's better, like if the effort you put in is completely ignored, let's say that.
Alright.
All the work aside, what tastes better? Fresh cooked food. How is this even a debate?
I mean, okay, well, but so what are your main reasons why you cook from scratch?
It's better. That's my only reason. It tastes better, and a lot of things don't take that much effort.
Alright.
Like, I can't stand that. I mean, it makes no sense. How about we talk about Kraft mac and cheese, or like the mac and cheese boxes?
Yes.
Garbage. And it makes no sense because mac and cheese is like the easiest thing to make. You boil the noodles, you drain the noodles, you put the cheese in, maybe a little bit of milk. You let it melt. That's it. That powdered cheese in the box is trash.
Yeah, I didn't really like it. Didn't really taste good to me.
It shouldn't exist. It's so easy just to make mac and cheese.
And I did try mac and cheese from scratch, and it did taste a lot better.
I know. My mac and cheese from scratch.
Yeah,
Very good.
Yeah, yours.
Yes. A recipe I came up with myself. No exact measurements whatsoever. I do it by eye every time. So I couldn't even give anyone the recipe. It's really just my eyes.
Oh. Okay.
Do you have reasoning for preferring pre-made food? You have an argument for pre-made food?
No. It's just other people have arguments for pre-made food.
The only thing is that it might be faster, it might be easier. That just means you're lazy. Pre-made food is lazy. At least for dinner, I don't like it. Pre-made food for lunch all day.
Yeah.
Frozen food for lunch, I'm okay with that. A frozen pizza, because lunch is quick. But dinner, you're supposed to take your time. You're supposed to have something good to end your day.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Food from scratch is just that. And to give you listeners a little bit of background, we did not really come from like made from scratch food.
Oh no, nah.
Our upbringing did not involve that, because our parents didn't really cook. I, in my adulthood, have taught myself how to cook from scratch and developed an appreciation for it. You know, I've come to find that it's not that hard to make a lot of foods from scratch. There's certain things I won't make. Like, I don't like baking. I don't really make desserts. I think I'd rather just buy some Oreos. I like Oreos. That's good enough for me. But as far as dinner goes, I do like to make things from scratch rather than pre-made, freeze-dried, dehydrated, preserved type of stuff. Because it's not that hard and it tastes so much better. And it's a nice treat for me at the end of the day.
Okay, well, what was your reaction when you actually tasted from scratch foods for the first time?
You know what I used to think? Um, I used to think that having food that tasted like it was from a restaurant made in your house was impossible. Ricky, I thought it was not possible to eat food at your house that tastes like it's from a restaurant.
Oh, restaurant level type food.
Yes, I didn't know that it was possible to have good food at home. I thought eating at home just had to be bad.
Yeah.
But now I know that it is possible to have food just as good as a restaurant in your house. And that's what's changed my whole perspective. And to know it's not that hard, you don't really need like any special like utensils or appliances. Like, the stuff you have will do it.
Okay.
It's possible. So that was my reaction. It's like, wow, I can't believe I can have food at my house that tastes like it's from a restaurant. Fresh. Just everything's fresh and hot, and I just didn't know. I really, you guys, I legitimately thought that it wasn't possible because I had never had it. And, you know, I don't know, man. Just made from scratch just feels, it's just so tasty, I want to say like at home, but I didn't experience it at home. I guess it's a comfort that I can enjoy in my adulthood, even though it's not nostalgic, because I didn't have it in my childhood. So there's no like deep-seated emotions attached to making food from scratch for me, but it is enjoyable.
Yeah.
As an adult.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. You know, I'm not really a cooking type guy. Well, so, but so even if people don't really cook, can anybody make scratch food?
I think so. It's not that hard.
Mm.
You could make chicken from scratch. You could fry it. You could bake it. All of that stuff. It tastes good. You can put You could make a casserole. You could make all kind. This a good conversation for the podcast? Do you think this is entertaining?
Well, I mean, people get to learn how to cook. Instead of just buying the pre-made food, just buy ingredients of the pre-made food and then make it yourself.
How about you guys listening? Let us know in the comments what kind of foods you like to cook. Or if you like to cook, do you prefer stuff you can just put in the microwave or just throw in the oven? Or food from a can? Let us know if you're perfectly happy with that. I don't have a problem with it. Just don't ask me to dinner.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Take It With a Grain of Sand. Hope to see you again soon. And always remember to take
it with a grain of sand.
Yeah, what she said.